Yeah, I just realized that I never hit go live, and I've been sitting here talking to myself for the last 3.5 minutes. So that was fun. Um, I'll show you this. I won't run the intro, but you're not going as hard as you think you are. Push harder was the quote from today. I feel like a complete idiot right now. But yeah, we're just going to push forward. I basically went on to say, I might show that in the video today about just talking about the SPY. The market itself is down 7%. We're probably going to open up and then halt here in about a minute and a half. Thomas, Mike, what's up, man? Yeah, I definitely feel like an idiot. I had a pretty good thing going there, and I just never hit go live. Wow. Been a pretty stressful morning. I've had a lot on my plate. Just my oldest was being a brat since last night, so I've been dealing with him. Getting him out of the house this morning was a chore. And yeah, now we have the SPY sitting here around 7% when we're about to open in a minute. Most likely going to halt. And I basically said after the halt, we'll be fine because we have until about 13%. But I'd pulled up the daily, and I said, we're starting to get into some pretty crazy territory. We're back to where we were February of 2018. Next real level of support was around 233. And that's starting to get down there towards those big numbers that everyone's talking about as far as like every time we've had a big major correction, it's been about 50%. So 50% would be about 175. That's kind of crazy. Coming up on about 100 points total overall. Looking at the daily from the top around 340 we're getting pretty close to that. So some pretty scary stuff overall. A lot of places shutting down. CCL this morning, Carnival announced that they're shutting down business for 60 days. And yeah, just some crazy stuff going on. So we're probably going to watch the SPY here right out of the gate as the bell's about to ring. And if we hit 7%, the odds are it's going to be a market-wide halt. And we're going to have to wait 15 minutes anyway. So definitely not looking to really jump into anything right away. And we'll see what happens. So right down there to 6.8%. Marketing, what's going on, man? 7% right there. So theoretically, this thing should be halting. I'm assuming it hit. And last time, if you remember, we actually opened under 7%. Or, well, over, yeah, I guess under 7% last time. And it started to come up, and then we halted around like 6:30 or 9:34. So I'm assuming maybe we hit that 7% and it's being put into place. So we'll kind of see what happens here. But I would expect there to be something. Especially if it doesn't absolutely just skyrocket here. But I'm wondering if it was already put into place. CCL actually squeezing up a little bit, which is Carnival. They're the ones that had announced that they're going to be closing down for 60 days. I had just said, too, I should probably start throwing some money into my Webull account to start scooping up some of these stocks because in due time, the odds are these stocks are going to go back up. So I'm really not looking to get into anything, especially right now. I don't know because we did hit 7%. I don't know if it's going to halt here in a couple minutes like it did last time. Not really looking to jump into anything just in case. CCL is squeezing pretty good to the upside here. Just have that up on another chart. Scroll in here a little on the SPY just so we can kind of see the candles a little bit better. It's looking like the SPY is trying to bounce, at least as of right now. But again, we did hit 7%, so I don't know if that's like a trigger and the market has to just kind of do its thing where it takes a couple minutes for it to actually halt everything. So until we kind of get maybe even like 10 minutes in, I'm not really looking to jump into anything. Yeah, CCL and RCL, aren't they both Carnival? Or parts of it? There we go, right back down. I wonder if the market, like if it would have shot right back up over 6%, maybe they wouldn't halt. I don't know, but now we're coming right back down to 7%. I have BEST up as well, best. I don't know, is that Best Buy? I don't even know. I don't know what most of these are, but they're actually, oh, that's a place, and it's a China company. For some reason, they're spiking up right now as well. They're not even on SSR. Not enough to play it. Volume's not really there either. SPY back down to 6.9%. APT would have been a good scoop from yesterday to have still. Kind of hovering right around that 7% area. INO making a move to the upside. INO, I believe, is one of the biotechs that are trying to help cure this thing or whatever. Just sitting here at that 6.9%. It is not looking good. It looks like it wants to bust through this 255 area. There's 7% again. So I don't really know what the guidelines are here. I guess it's, I mean, they say 7%. It definitely is at 7%. I don't know if we have to wait for a certain point. I mean, I honestly don't know. Oh, and there it is. So there's the halt. We knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time. I'm wondering if it was a delay, like it's a delayed halt. I don't know. But, yeah. So, you guys want to get to know each other over the course of the next 15 minutes? I don't really have anything to do. My son's being good, so I really don't want to disturb him. Just going to let him be. I was just waiting for this to actually happen so that now afterwards, if I want to trade, I won't have to fear getting stuck in the halt. So that's kind of the idea behind waiting there. Because, I mean, not that it necessarily matters, but, I mean, I just didn't feel like being stuck in anything. So, because who knows? You never know if while it's halted, they could be like, you know what? We're going to shut it down for the day. Like, you don't know that. So, can you guys hear me okay, by the way? I actually changed my microphone output through a program. Well, I had it going through a program, and now it's not. So I'm curious what it sounds like. Just wanted to make sure it sounds good to you guys. I'm a little loud now. Well, I'd rather be loud than too low. Loud can be fixed. You can turn me down. Yeah, Michael, I know you're in here. A lot of people. I think the last time this happened was back in before 2000. It was back in the 80s, 90s. I don't know exactly when it was, but this is pretty rare, and it happened twice this week. So, what's defined as a halt? Like market wide? Yeah, right now it's market wide. When the SPY hits 7%, it's a market wide halt. So everything gets halted. And then after it opens up, if it gets to 13%, it would halt again for another 15 minutes. And then if for some reason it gets to 20%, then the market just shuts down for the day. There's no more trading. Paul, if you're in here, nice job, man. Make your money and get out. That was a quick one. Not even 6 minutes in. But yeah, some pretty crazy stuff going on this week. A lot of people aren't taking the coronavirus that seriously. I like to do my research. You guys know that by now. I do my due diligence, and a lot of the stuff that they're putting out there in the media is just crap. All these masks, I kind of went on this rant a little bit yesterday, but don't think that these masks are going to save you. It's an airborne virus. You have a mask that has holes on the side, even though you are helping, because if you have the virus, you might not spread it as easily, even though when you cough and sneeze, some of that air is still coming through. The germs from your coughing and sneezing are not getting through. So just by breathing, you're actually transmitting. And you're also inhaling, which is you're also ingesting. So inhaling. I don't know why I said ingesting, but the disease can find you even if you're wearing one of those masks because you're breathing the air. It's in the air. It has nothing to do with the germs, all that good stuff. Now, obviously, you should still practice good hygiene. You should still be washing your hands. You should still be doing that stuff. But to be completely honest, that's all like normal flu type stuff. But the way that this virus is working, doing all that stuff is not going to help you. So YouTube didn't tell me you were live. What? Well, it might not have told you I was live right away because I totally forgot to hit go live. So that might have been part of the problem too. Well, I posted, I believe, like 2 or 3 days ago, the video that is now going viral on YouTube. The video of Joe Rogan interviewing the guy that literally works with like viruses. Like that's his job, is to figure out what these viruses do, how they work, how to stop them, all that good stuff. And this is basically where I got most of my information, minus doing my own research even before that. But Trump, in his speech last night, he said, don't do all these other things, but he did say that, I'm pretty sure he said that it was airborne. But when it's airborne, guys, there's nothing you can do to stop it. The only thing you can do is just quarantine yourself. That's why this is spreading like it is. And that's why people are freaking out now that they understand the truth, is because no matter where you're at, if there's somebody that has been there previously, you're at risk. And that's all there is to it. What he did say, which is very true, is that if you're younger, the kids right now seem to be fairly not immune to it. They're still testing positive for it, but they're not showing the symptoms as much as adults, as well as the older generations. And the real people at risk are people with underlying health problems, older people, especially people with respiratory problems. There's also, go get it, walk around. And just, a lot of people, obesity could be a problem because you're already kind of putting pressure on your respiratory system. So those are the people that are mainly at risk. But that doesn't mean go out and still enjoy yourself and enjoy all this, all the places that are completely empty right now, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because you could inadvertently be responsible for spreading this, which then eventually kills somebody, right? You don't know that if by you still going out to dinner, catching the coronavirus, I don't even know if I'm allowed to actually say it. I heard some other YouTuber saying they can't actually say the name because they're getting demonetized, but whatever. By getting the virus, then going to visit your relatives that are old, right? And you don't think you have it because you're not showing any symptoms, but you do, and then you pass it on to them, and they ultimately end up dying. So you got to think of it that way, and that's why it's very important for everyone to essentially kind of quarantine themselves. I've been trying to convince the wife. She can work from home, and it kind of pisses me off that her company they haven't even like put a plan into place. They haven't even brought it up. They haven't even mentioned it. And I keep telling her, look, just come home, work from home because she can, and F them, especially after Trump came out and said what he said last night, where there's nothing they can't fire you, basically, is what Trump was saying over this. If you're not feeling well, Trump said stay home. All medical insurance will waive anything to do with coronavirus type stuff. So if you have to go in and get checked, your insurance will waive that full visit because they'd rather you go get checked. But make sure that you don't just go into a hospital. Don't just go into a doctor's office. Call ahead if you think that you have it, because what you're going to do is you're going to ultimately end up spreading the virus, if you do have it, into a place where we're trying to keep it out of, right? So they're attempting to put up some temporary hospitals so that people that think they have the virus don't go to the actual hospitals where there's already people that are in danger of other things. So if you bring the virus into the hospital, I mean, you can see how that would be absolutely just like, there's so many things that people don't understand that they're not thinking about that they need to, because it's not necessarily always about your safety. If you think that you'd be fine, which in most cases, a lot of people are going to be fine. You have to think of the other people, the people that came back from vacation and they're fine, but they're spreading this virus. Yeah, they're fine. But now look at what they did, right? Now the whole United States is at risk. It started with just like one case in like Seattle or something. And now look where we are. So you have to keep it in check, guys. We have to, that's where we're at. It's led to this point to where now our markets have halted twice in 1 week, market wide, and we're kind of stuck in this pandemic of trying to figure out how to stop this thing and minimize the effects of it. And it's going to be bad. Jeff says don't touch your face, bro. What is crazy that healthy people can have the virus and show zero symptoms? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people with high blood pressure, another one. Yeah, because this virus attacks your respiratory system. A lot of people don't understand, too, that sorry. But a lot of people don't understand that. Now I lost my train of thought. It was something to do with the symptoms. But we should be opening up soon. I think it was like 30. So we still got about 5 minutes, actually. I think it was around 36 that it halted. But yeah, a lot of people need to realize what's going on overall. Yeah, I just got a text from somebody else. I don't know if they want their name mentioned, so I won't. But there's somebody that has been working at Ground Zero, and basically as security at where they work, they wear I don't know if is a task mask a thing? I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it's one like a gas mask, like one of those ones that have ventilators on them, to work, and everyone else is in hazmat suits. They cut off all communication to quarantine people. So, I mean, that's where we're at, guys. Well, and that's the problem, Fearless, is all these people are spreading rumors and they don't have any clue about what they're talking about. And that's what leads to craziness. But we are going to get to the point where that's what I was going to say earlier, is a lot of people don't realize that we're not even in the worst part of this yet. So the fact that we're actually starting now is actually kind of a good thing. But the death toll is still going to rise. Don't think because we're just shutting everything down and whatnot that this is going to stop spreading. Hold on a second. But yeah, I mean, I keep saying, imagine a state like Florida, where I would say over half the population is probably 50, 55 plus. I mean, you could essentially, if it spreads completely throughout Florida and everyone in Florida gets it, you could lose half the population of Florida. Think of that. Like, really think about that. A lot of people don't understand how serious this is for people that are vulnerable. For a lot of people aren't taking it serious because they realize they're not necessarily at risk. But me personally, the reason why I would not want to get it is, what if I have an emergency and I have to go see my grandmother or something like that? Well, if I have it, I can't. And there's people now. But there's people now where you really have to think, if they get the coronavirus, you know that you can just start planning their funeral because they're just old. They already have issues, whatever it may be. Like, you can pretty much, if they test positive for the virus, you can pretty much just start planning the funeral. I have 3 grandparents that are that way. My wife has a great grandparent. Just that they're already having issues. So if you give them a virus like this, I mean, they're as good as done. And it sucks to think about that. But I don't really know. People just either are going to take it serious or not. Yeah, Arizona's another place. So, yeah, that's the other thing. And a lot of people will say anything just for likes and exposure and to be in the spotlight or whatever. And the thing that I hate about that is, like, just look at Ryan Newman. Like, I'm an actual racing fan. I've been watching racing my entire life. So when Ryan Newman got into that accident, at Daytona, and markets are back open, a lot of people like jumped on that bandwagon just so that they could act like they cared. And oh man, look at the markets just dumping here. Damn right well that none of them really gave a shit, and they were just there because it was what was trending on Twitter at the time. So we'll see. All right, back to the markets. SPY is getting crushed at the moment. It would have to get down to 13% for it to halt again. I guess the fact that it halted kind of freaked a lot of people out because definitely won't be seeing me scoop anything today. And this might be a day where I just sit out, to be completely honest. Yeah, I don't think any buy the dip algos are in place right now. That's for sure. And just think of all the Furus out there that are, just making video after video. Oh, I've been short the SPY since 340. Still holding some. Yeah, whatever. It definitely doesn't look very good on the daily, I'll tell you that. That thing is, it's literally a cliff. Just a quick look at it. You scroll out just a little bit, look at that. It's like a mountain, and then you just fell off a cliff back into September of 2017. Part of me wants this to continue, just from an investment standpoint. I know anybody that has retirement accounts right now, they're probably crying, and I can understand why. But me personally, I don't really have anything in a retirement account at the moment. So knowing that I could take some extra money, whatever it may be, and pretty much just throw it into one, it'd be a pretty good time to do so. And like I said, this is probably going to get worse. The virus is going to spread. People are going to keep dying, and more things are going to shut down. This is just the beginning to me. So you won't see me really touching any of this just yet until the market really kind of levels itself out. Yeah. A lot of people are going to look at their retirement accounts now and think, how can I retire? But it's one of them things. But if you're that close to retirement, like if your father's retiring this year, or you're somebody that just had their retirement party, they shouldn't have been that heavily into the market. They should have been into like bonds, stuff that's a little bit more safe. Nice little bounce there. INO is halted to the downside. APT is also halted to the downside. SPY making a nice little squeeze here. Wow, the VIXY, VIXY, is actually halted right now. How is that even possible? I thought this runs with the SPY. That's pretty crazy. Later, Michael. We'll see you later. Yeah, Paul, I mean, that's the other thing too. I mean, as long as you don't touch it, you'll be fine. I mean, it's all probably going to go back up. How long it takes, I don't know. But the odds of it obviously staying like this are not that good. That's crazy. I didn't know. I'm going to move the SPY down here. I can start looking at some other stuff. But look, I didn't know the VIX or any of these. I didn't know that these could actually halt. So if the SPY keeps climbing here, when it unhalts, is it just going to like shoot up? I'm a little, this is all new to me, guys. So. Some crazy stuff. crazy too to know that the TVIX was at like $30 not that long ago, and now it's up at 400. That's after, I believe, a reverse split though, because they had to adjust for when the SPY was climbing. I'm really interested to see what the VIXY does here, because the SPY is still climbing. Whoa. I was not expecting that. I thought this goes with the SPY. Oh no, it's the opposite. My bad. I'm an idiot. I should have just looked at the daily. That would have gave me the answer there. So yeah, that actually makes sense. That's so crazy. I mean, now will it halt going down? That's crazy. Like if I would have known what I was doing there and I would have looked at the daily, I could have you could pretty much know that that's what it was going to do. Look at the SPY. SPY's all the way back up to 5% here. It's a rallying. All right, the scanners are finally back up here. Everyday market is down. I put some money in my retirement account. Doing a kind of intensity strategy. Nah, Constantine, that's probably the way to go, to be honest. Because eventually this thing is going to level out. I mean, the market's designed to go up overall. Paul, I hope your father switched to his 401k to stable or something. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm personally I'm gonna be putting some money into something. It's just a matter of letting this cool down. Because like I said, I don't think we're done yet. Personally, I don't think the pandemic is over with. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean the market's going to keep going down. The market could just start going sideways. You know, it could do whatever it wants. But I just don't think that the overall worry of the virus is over just yet. So that's what I am talking about. INO is just being absolutely nuts. Now the SPY is starting to try to come back down. I just don't even really know where to look. I mean, I know it's kind of pointless to look at anything on the upside because everything's on SSR still, even though everything should be off of SSR today. But it might have opened up down on SSR again because the SPY had gapped down. What an interesting day already. This is where trading in the pre-market might have been better today. But I'm obviously not here for the pre-market. So it's a no-go for me. The scanners, this is nuts. You don't see the scanners like this every day, I'll tell you that. This is some crazy stuff. I'll tell you that. Wish I had some popcorn. So they added something to the CDC website basically saying it's person-to-person spread. And in the way they worded it, it's basically saying that it's airborne. So at least they're finally coming out and saying it within the CDC. So there's not much to talk about, guys. CMEG does not allow to enter the trade. What? There's some other people in the Discord and stuff that have been trading. You sure you have it on day and not day plus? What's the error message that it's giving you? Like in the montage, this little green error area, it should be yellow with an error. You can click the arrow and it should pop up and tell you what the error is. T.SSR.S, it means that the trade was halted. That's what the T means, and it has resumed. SSR means it's on short sale restriction, and the S means that you can still short it. So if you're trying to enter a stock that is on SSR and you're trying to hit the bid, you can't do that. So that could be why as well. In order to trade the stocks on SSR, you have to be on the ask to get filled on an uptick. Just everything is red. Some crazy stuff. And this one was actually before the halt. Or no, it was right after the halt. Wish I would have saw that. Could have been one to play. Oh boy. Oh, excuse me. Just soaking all this in, guys. I mean, I haven't really seen anything that I'd be interested in trading anyways. So I've been scrolling through charts on my second chart here. And the top chart too, but just been kind of going back and forth. I'm not really looking to scoop up anything today, to be completely honest. And there's a lot of stocks like PK I just pulled up off the scanner. That's getting ready to get halted to the downside. TRIL also getting smashed here. And there's definitely a lot of stocks that look like they're having the usual intense moves, but I think it was Tuesday this has happened as well, and it kind of burned us because we tried to play them and just nothing bounced. Interesting day. What a crazy day. Wonder why eBay even went up. Kind of random. I mean, again, they're the moves you're looking for. The ones that really don't make sense. And this is just a mess right now. Man, I did not sleep well. My oldest kept me up. Yeah, sideline day for sure. GDT. The market halted again this morning. I don't know if you had caught that. I'm actually getting ready to go out shopping after the stream's over, to be honest. Gonna attempt to stock up on just some random stuff, just in case the wife actually decides to start working from home. That way we can kind of quarantine ourselves a little bit. Yeah, I'm thinking I might just be taking the rest of this week off myself. I mean, I'll probably be here just nitpicking, but I'm definitely not looking to jump in any of this chop. I mean, it's just straight chop. Like if you take a look at the spot, I'm sure you have your charts up, so I don't have to, but it's kind of silly. Yeah, everything's red. Everything that you'd be looking to like scoop up. There's so many things that aren't bouncing. Of course, the two that I pulled up just now are, but like PK was one of them. There's a lot of them that are just having huge declines, and it's like Tuesday. They're just not bouncing. POAI. Yeah, it's been kind of a nice move there. It's not on SSR or anything. It's a lower float, 3 mil. Yeah, I'm definitely not looking to scoop anything just yet. I was just saying earlier, though, that I do plan on throwing some more money in my Webull account so that I can scoop up some stocks when this all finally starts to calm down. There's a lot of stocks right now that are at a bargain price. Thomas killing it today on eBay. Sands Corp and Las Vegas to crash. Yeah, I mean, all the casinos, the airlines, restaurants. I was reading a Reddit thread last night, and it was a restaurant workers type thread, and there was some from New Orleans. There was one in Austin, Texas, that said like 90% of their business is for one of these huge conventions that they have every year, and they just canceled it due to the virus. So the income that they usually get from this 1 month that they were talking about is just completely gone. And they were saying that's like 90% of their income for the entire year. In New Orleans, they said, pretty much a big majority of their profits come from the tourism. So now if there's no tourism going in and out of the state, there's just, it's going to be rough. It's going to get rough. Yeah, the long-term opportunity is definitely there. It's poking its head in right about now. Doesn't sound good, but he's laughing. Yeah, you just have to be willing to hold like a retirement account. Very true. 80% of profit from China. Well, and that's the other thing too. Like my wife just came into her first instance because she works in the lighting industry, and all the lighting that they sell is made in China. And they're now running into deadline issues and stuff like that. And on top of that, these companies are just going to start closing down in the United States anyway. So everything's going to kind of be on delay for at least a few months, maybe even. I mean, this could take to the end of the year, to be completely honest. And the other thing too is just like we have our seasonal flu. This could very well be our new seasonal flu, and it's a lot more dangerous. So the only thing is, hopefully, as this is all happening, we do come up with a vaccine for it, and that will lessen the blow if this does become sort of that seasonal flu type situation. Because once it starts warming up, because they are saying too that, and this is kind of hearsay, this isn't anything that I've found to be proven, but it would make sense, just like the normal flu, that it has a harder time in warmer areas. So I guess once summer rolls around, hopefully that would kind of burn it out a little bit. Yeah, before conventions started, they would have hotels filled on the weekends. Yeah, I mean, hotels, airlines, casinos, restaurants, just all that. The only company that might not take a hit is Amazon. But I was talking to the wife about this. This is a very airborne disease or virus. So if one of the Amazon warehouses gets infected with this virus, and they start packaging the air from their warehouse, which is infected, they could potentially be shipping the virus unintentionally, and they don't even know it. It's really crazy. A lot of people just don't think of how easy stuff like this can spread. It's ridiculous. CZR, apparently another one. Yep. Jeez. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these are doing just this. Big drops with no bounces. This is a casino. Caesars. What's the other casino? What's Starbucks symbol? I'm just curious. I know a lot of people were talking about but just like the big companies like that they're all gonna be taking hits. S-Bucks. I mean, looking at the daily from this, Starbucks was up at $100 not that long ago, and now we're down at 62. Casino stocks. Is Sands? Is it just sand? Yeah, the Wynn Resorts. And these guys were up at 200. Now they're at 71. MGM, that's the other one I was thinking of. MGM down at 15. They were up at 40. Yeah, Royal Caribbean. I mean, they're technically in that business as well. Royal Caribbean was up at 137. Look at this daily. That is crazy. Royal Caribbean is at $33 right now. I'm definitely opening up a Webull account. Because once all this goes away, I mean, these stocks are going to move back up. There's no way you're telling me a place like Royal Caribbean and even Carnival, CCL, they're down at 18. They were up at 52. That's not even as good as Royal Caribbean. 137, they're down at 33. That is an opportunity. That is an opportunity right there. That's crazy. I can't believe they're down that much. Las Vegas Sands is actually LVS. So they're not, I mean, that one's actually not as bad, but yeah, they were up at 80. So, I mean, that is 50%. That's a thing. A lot of these are down, jeez, almost 50%. Starbucks isn't quite there. Let's see, just check a couple more of these. Vail Resorts. 300, they were at 300, and now they're down at 132. Just, I mean, this is nuts. Boyd Gaming, BYD. They were up at 36, down at 14. This is just nuts. This is just crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I don't know if the air bubbles in the packaging could have them in there, but I mean, I guess they could. That'd be interesting. Yeah, MGM, Caesars, Wynn, Las Vegas, Sands. I feel like there was another one. It was like one of my first trades ever. I don't remember which casino it was, but at the time it was only worth like $10. So I can only imagine it now. Why a Webull or whatever you're saying? Never heard of it. I use Thinkorswim. Oh, Webull. Webull. Kind of the same as Thinkorswim now, to be honest. Bless you, Corona. Mortgage the house, YOLO. To be completely honest, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea. And that's the other thing, too. Think of it. You could refinance your house right now. Interest rates are as low as they're probably going to be. And you could take that extra money and invest it. I'm just saying. Because, I mean, a lot of the stocks that we just rolled through, they're not S&P 500 stocks. So these are ones that you can get the discount without ever having to deal. Like, you don't have to, like, you can buy the SPY and just let the SPY do its thing. Eventually it will go back up, but some of the big returns that you can get are on some of these lower end stocks that are just getting crushed right now. Disney's getting interesting. Yeah, Disney didn't even really take that big of a hit. I'm surprised. I would have thought Disney would have took a huge hit because you know they're going to shut their parks down. I would almost think they have to. Boeing is getting slammed. Aren't they just B? BA. I'll say that was too cheap. Jeez, 450. They were at 450. What do you want? Time for him to cry. Want something he can't have. Yeah, you could always lose big. That's the beauty of the market. Yep. Sorry, guys. I'm going to turn the mic off for a sec. All right, guys, I just realized it's 10:30 anyway, so I'm going to get out of here. And he's being really bad, so I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Don't forget, we'll be here 9:25ish to about 10:30. So I will catch you guys later. Peace. Hey guys, if you're still here, I'm going to turn the scanners on for you guys. So if you guys are interested, why does it keep doing that? Hold on for me 1 sec here. There we go. Alright. Let me... Give me 1 sec. I don't know. Why is it doing that? Okay. Alright. I'll leave the scanners on for you guys. So that way you at least have something. I'm not really doing anything anyway. So I'll be back after I'm done shopping. So can't hurt to leave them on if you guys are interested.